This game is one of, if not the best anime fighting game in a sea of trash anime fighters. In fact, not only does it stomp on Sparking Zero as a fighting game, but the franchise itself grandfather Dragon Ball Fighter Z itself.
Alright.
That's right, I'm talking about the one, the only, Guilty Gear Strive. Now, it's almost my bedtime as I'm making this video, so if you rock with me, like the video and watch to the end. And yes, I have a bedtime. When you become adult, you start to give yourself designated sleep time. Sleep is crucial, bruh. But anyway, let's get into it. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Nova World 1, and today we're going to talk about Guilty Gear Strive. Now, a little bit of background. I've played more than a couple of fighting games, but Guilty Gear Strive is one of those games that kind of went under my radar. Sorry, y'all. I was looking at my bunny. This man just running around. He doesn't usually come out of his cage, or rather his house. I just be leaving the door open, but now he's just running around. But anyways, look. So, I've played all the Mortal Kombat games. Not all of them. I'm not that old. I'm only 23. But I played numerous Mortal Kombat games. I've played the demo for Fighters, and that's it. Like, literally, when Fighters was coming out back, I think I was in high school at the time. Yeah, I was in high school at the time. I think I was either a junior or a sophomore, but when that game came out. But I played the demo. I was super excited for the game. I was loving it. It was something new from other Dragon Ball games, which were not side-by-side fighters. They were arena fighters, but this one was a side-by-side fighter. I played it and I liked it, but I never ended up actually following through on playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Probably because I was just a broke teenager with no money and I just couldn't be bothered to play it. Anyways, but fast forward to today, you know, I've been playing Sparking Zero, and everyone had hoped that Sparking Zero would be everything that we always wanted, right? I think we were partly blinded by nostalgia and also blindsided by the fact that a lot of these gaming companies, some of them, they want to make good games, others, they just want to make money. It seems like with this game, they had a great start at first. You know, the game looked good. They made some early changes, and then it's like they just stopped caring about the game at some point. They stopped giving it like its necessary updates to the point where sometimes the game is unplayable. But with Guilty Gear, at least, if you play that game and somebody beat you, they're better than you. Period, point blank. It's not like how in Sparking Zero, under arena fighters or other anime fighters where you can get cheesed to death. Like, if someone beats you in Guilty Gear, they're better than you. Now, when Dragon Ball Fighters was first coming out, I remember hearing like rumors and ramblings about Guilty Gear. Like, it was guys saying that, oh yeah, this game takes a lot of inspiration from Guilty Gear and like Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom type of games and this, that, and third. And I heard about it, but I never really looked into it until now because, you know, I tried to get back into Sparking Zero. And I'm okay, like I'm getting back into it, but you know, sometimes you just want to play different games, like try new things out. And I was pleasantly surprised by Guilty Gear. I thought, okay, well, what about Guilty Gear? What's going on with that? I talked to my homeboy. I'm like, hey man, like, what you know about Guilty Gear? He was like, man, Guilty Gear is one of the most like popular fighting games out there. I'm like, what are you talking about? How do I not know about this? He's like, bro, you're just not a part of like the community of Guilty Gear. Like, it's a very tight-knit community of people who like to play Guilty Gear. People who play Guilty Gear, they play Guilty Gear. It's not like Sparking Zero where it started off with like, I think it had like 400,000 players at one point in time, and now it has less than 1,000 players on a daily basis. It's not like that. When people who play Guilty Gear, they play Guilty Gear, and they're going to keep playing Guilty Gear until the next Guilty Gear comes out. But anyways, so far from my experience, I can honestly say Guilty Gear, okay, I would be lying if I told you guys that Guilty Gear was better than Fighters. It was better than Dragon Ball Fighter Z, not because it's not, and not because it isn't. It's because, like I said, I only played Fighter Z. Like, I have a very minuscule amount of time put into Fighter Z. But I've played Street Fighter, I've played Mortal Kombat, I've played Injustice, I've played pretty much all the Dragon Ball arena games, and even the Dragon Ball like side scroller games. Like, what was the name of those games? I forget the name of them, but anyways, If let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There was this one Dragon Ball game. It was like a side by side fighter. If you go a certain place on Namek, like you fly a certain place on Namek, you could unlock Super Saiyan 4 and Broly. But anyway, that's besides the point. Look, as far as Guilty Gear being compared to all those games, Mortal Kombat, Tekken's a pretty good game. All Dragon Ball Arena games, other anime fighters, Jump Force, J-Stars. Y'all remember J-Stars? Man, I wish they'd bring that back, but like make it better. But anyways, Guilty Gear has to be probably the best. And I say this because this game, not only is it challenging to learn, but it's not impossible. Like I said earlier, if someone beats you in this game, they're better than you. Point blank, period. I was playing this game with my homeboy, and the controls are so like fine-tuned and precise. You can button mash a bit, but it's not going to get you far. You have to have very good like stick discipline. In fact, playing on the controller is probably not the best way to play this game. If you had like a big ass joystick, that'd probably be like the best way to play this game, because when you're doing certain moves, you have to flick the sticks in a certain way, and you can't overshoot the flick. You can't flick it too hard, or you can't flick it too fast. I know this may sound kind of suggestive, but you have to be very precise with your movements. But you can't be passive, and you can't be slow. It kind of reminds me of real fighting, like real life martial arts. Like I started doing martial arts when I was 14 years old, and I stopped when I was like 17. And it reminds me of how you can't just go into a fight swinging full force, full power. You also can't be passive, but you also can't over commit. So it's like in this game, it has a sort of aggressive patience type of feel. Very precise, very flow state. You have to be very precise. In fact, when you go into practice mode, there's a little thing on the left side that shows you the movement of your sticks, and it will show you that you're overshooting like your stick movement with certain moves that you're practicing. And it takes a lot of practice to be able to pull off certain moves, but once you get it down and you get the patience down and the timing down, you'll be good. That's what makes this game challenging. Now, a lot of guys may not want to get into this type of game because of that reason. Some guys, they just want to get on the game, button mash, see who can hit the button the fastest. That's what, yes, Sparking Zero is about timing to an extent, but the Sparking Zero servers are so messed up that sometimes if someone's delayed, or maybe like internet's not as good, like bro, like your timing is going to be so off. There'll be matches where you can't pull off certain moves just because like there's input delay, There's just so many problems with Sparking Zero. Forget Sparking Zero for 1 second. In this game, I haven't experienced any type of input delay. If I wasn't able to pull off a move, it's because I didn't input the move correctly. It's not like Sparking Zero where you know any other time you're doing these certain moves, you can do it. But you get into that one match where it's just not activating. It's not inputting quick enough. Maybe you're not hitting the button fast enough. You know what I mean? In this game, it's not about being the fastest. It's about being the most precise, being able to time your opponent while also being aggressive, being able to string like your own combos together. This game literally has a combo database where guys will literally create combos, put it into a database, and you could practice their combos. What other game you know is doing that? Granted, you could probably go on YouTube, learn different type of stuff, but if you don't feel like going on YouTube, bro, you could literally, like, it's right there in the game for you. Another thing that, like, these controls, like, it's challenging to do. Another thing that I can compare these controls to is, if any of you guys have ever used firearms or trained with firearms, you know that your first time shooting a handgun or a rifle, you're going to flinch because you're anticipating the sound of the gun or the recoil of the firearm. Now, what a lot of instructors teach you is you want to pull the trigger back slowly, but don't flinch. You want to breathe when you're shooting. You want to be precise with your shots. In fact, another thing that I could best compare the controls to is when it comes to like being precise. When you fire a firearm, you want to isolate your trigger pull without moving your entire hand. One of my problems was when I first started learning how to use firearms, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but one of the first things one of my problems was when I would pull my trigger, I would tense up my entire, like both my hands. I learned that I have to isolate my trigger pull, like without moving the rest of my hands, keeping my hands firm on the firearm so the recoil doesn't like flip the firearm out my hands, but also isolating the movement of my trigger finger. That way the recoil is reduced like 2 times. You know what I mean? That's how fine-tuned these controls are. If you want to button mash, you're not going to be able to get far with that in this game. This game is very challenging. Every single character is unique. It's not like, I keep saying Dragon Ball Spark and Zero, but it's not like one of those arena fighter games where if you know one character, you know them all. No, you don't. In this game, if you know one character, you need to take the time to learn the basics of another character. You need to take the time to learn the basis of this character, of that character. You're not just going to play one character and know all of the moves. It's different. There are like certain basics that you can do, but most of these characters, they have pretty much different move sets. Like it's different. Another thing I like about this game, distance. You have to manage your distance. I like how the combos are set up. Like when you do a certain combo, the combos they will fall off unless you reinitiate them. If you throw a certain punch or like you use a sword, you will get further away from your opponent. You have to reinitiate the combat by getting closer. There's risk to that. Your opponent might have projectiles. Your opponent might be ready for you to like try to run up on them. It's all about timing, prediction, perceiving what your opponent is going to do, and then, you know, stringing together some type of combo to counter it. Now, as far as the relation to Dragon Ball FighterZ, nowadays I'm kind of regret not playing Dragon Ball FighterZ because I hear that Dragon Ball FighterZ, it doesn't have as much of a fan base anymore. Like I hear that there's barely anyone online anymore. But now I'm regretting that because now that I just started playing Guilty Gear like with my homeboy, and I'm kind of learning a bit, I'm like, dang, I wish I would have played like Dragon Ball FighterZ, because Dragon Ball FighterZ would have probably been basically like something like Troas, something like Guilty Gear, but in like the Dragon Ball franchise. And I love Dragon Ball. And I originally heard about this game through Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I ignored it all this time until like a week or so ago. All right, pros and cons of this game. Like I said earlier, if you're a button masher, like if you like to be cheesy, bruh, granted this game probably has some cheese. I heard you probably just hadn't discovered it yet. This game won't be for you, bruh. Like I said, if somebody beats you in this game, they're better than you, point blank period. And it's just very challenging. Like if you're the type of person, no offense to you if this is you, but if you're the type of person that takes shortcuts in life, like you don't like to actually try to sit back and learn something, if you like to take the easy way out, like this game not for you. Or if fighting games aren't for you, bruh, I mean, I don't know why you would click on this video, but if that's not for you, like this game is like an actual serious fighting game, bruh. Pros. Well, I guess that was the con section. Basically, in the con section, I'm basically just trying to say, like, if you don't play fight games, if you like don't really want to test your skill, don't want to learn lessons, game not for you. But if you like to play fight games, this game is definitely for you. If you like anime style fighter games but want the actual skill and fun of playing a game with skill, like this game will be for you. Now, as far as the lore, don't ask me nothing about the lore. I had just found out that Soul Bad Guy used to be this scientist named Frederick. I would never have thought that would have been his name, Frederick. But I might make a lore video in the future or something like that. What I like about this game, well, one would be the mechanics. At first, the mechanics were a bit off-putting, like for each character being vastly different. But I eventually kind of got used to it, and I've only been playing for like a week, maybe a week and a half. You guys might see some of my gameplay, be like, man, that junk trash, that man trash. If you guys are like hardcore Guilty Gear players, Relax, bro. I'm learning. I'm still like trying to learn how to play the game. And even if I'm trash, I don't care what you think. I like the aesthetic of the game. I like the music. The music of the game is fire. Like, it gets you hyped up. I like the title screen. Guilty Gear Strive. I like that. And finally, my final thoughts. Should you give this game a try? Do I recommend this game? Like I said, I recommend it to a certain type of person. If you like fight games, if you like the challenge of video games, definitely play it. If you're a bit competitive, definitely play it. But I will say this, like, I don't know. I'm just getting introduced to the Guilty Gear community. I'm coming from the Sparking Zero community, and I know Sparking Zero community can be very toxic. It's a lot of like just weirdo guys who like just lame people in general, bro. If you're lame, or if you're the type of person that gets super like hyped over a video game and like basically be a bully or like say something real nasty to somebody over a video game, bro, don't play this game. I don't want to, like, if this video so happened to go viral, I don't want to introduce like toxic people into the Guilty Gear community if there's not already like toxic people in the community. But yeah, other than that, I definitely recommend this game. If you guys like this type of video, like, comment, subscribe. And let me know if you guys want to see more of Guilty Gear. I was thinking of doing a series where I play Guilty Gear. I'm learning how to play the game, but I'm also just talking to you guys, just like yapping. I feel like you should be able to yap with your community. But anyways, I catch you guys later and see you guys in the next one. Peace.